Ladies and gentlemen, with Diablo Immortal coming, one of the most common questions is, what is going to be played the most? Not necessarily, because we've already covered it, what is the strongest, but what is going to be played the most, because they are different. Now, I've looked through polls on Reddit, I've looked through my own internal polls, and I've also looked through all of the Discord data to show what class people selected, and I'm feeling pretty confident that I can put these in the absolute proper order. But before I get going, my cat needs to be let out. Okay, so let's get into it. Again, this is a popularity list, not necessarily a power list. And I think the one obvious one we're going to get out of the way is the Monk. I think the Monk is going to be the least played. This has been proven in basically all of the polls I see. The least amount of people are going to be playing Monk. After doing some research, they actually seem to be quite strong, so it's not necessarily for any other reason other than it's Diablo. People want to play with magic and giant swords and stuff like that, and the Monk, you're literally just punching people or using a stick, and I kind of think that that reason alone is enough to turn people off. And you know what? Next on this list, because I was mentioning the magic, let's go ahead and talk about Wizard. And because of that magic presence, I think the Wizard is going to be more a mid-tier played. I don't think it's going to be one of the more obvious ones that is literally everywhere, and the polls go to confirm this data as well. However, the Wizard has magic, okay, and it's kind of a more of a staple. It's got that big beam, the big disintegrate type of ray, and I think people love to play with that type of style where you just do a big circle or throw a big frozen orb, and it's a classic from Diablo 2 as well, so I can see that being sort of in the mid-tier play. Let's go with one that I think is going to be more popular, and I think the Crusader is going to be a very popular class, okay? Either popular or very popular. One or the other could really go either way with this one, but I think it's going to be a very popular class. The Crusader is sort of that Tyrell type of character, the holy character when you're playing in Diablo. It's kind of thematically makes sense. I've also seen lots of footage showing the Crusader is going to be very good, and there's some popular players playing Crusader as well, which I believe will help influence that decision. I also think Necromancer is going to be extremely popular when it comes to playing these people as well, and because Necromancer is a staple of Diablo, everyone wants to have the minions that you can raise with you. I think this is going to be sort of a staple in the classic, so I think we're going to see a ton of Necromancer. One thing is, on every single poll that I saw, both internally as well as polls that weren't mine, all showed Necromancer to be the most popular class, tied with Barbarian, interestingly enough, which means now that, you know, looking at the data, I could probably bump Crusader down to a little bit more of the popular, because I think Necromancer and Barbarian are going to be more populated than Crusader, but Crusader definitely seems more popular than both Wizard and Monk. And the reason for Barbarian is because Barbarian 1 seems to be very strong, and Barbarian, if you ask people, it's either Necromancer or Barbarian is the staple Diablo sort of poster boy. You see Diablo, if you actually go to their trailers and you look at their trailers, for instance, a lot of it's going to show the Barbarian, and he is the very first one on the classes as well here, and the Necromancer would be sort of your other staple type of hero for that. Now, that leaves us with the Demon Hunter. I think the Demon Hunter is going to be more popular than people think. I've seen some lists that say the Demon Hunter is probably not going to be that popular, but I actually think Demon Hunter is going to be very popular, because there's a lot of people that like playing Demon Hunter on the PC, and I think we're going to get a lot of the PC players who play Demon Hunter to switch over to playing Demon Hunter on the mobile, as well as I think Demon Hunter is going to be the class of people that play MOBAs are probably more comfortable with. Like if you're an AD carry player in like League of Legends Wild Rift or something like that, Demon Hunter is going to make more sense as it's a ranged carry sort of class. So what I see is Necromancer Barbarian being the top, with Crusader and Demon Hunter being the second most popular, and then Wizard and Monk. Although, to be fair, Monk could surprise us. It could actually end up looking a little bit more like this, and the Monk could come out of nowhere, because the Monk does seem like it's going to be a little bit better than I expected. But the data is showing, and let me just see, like if I think there was one on Reddit here recently. If you look at this here, if you look at it, the data shows very similar data here. For this is just the Reddit poll: 368 Necromancer, 271 Barbarian, 264 Demon Hunter. Then it's Crusader and Wizard basically tied, and Monk is way down below. So if you go by their numbers, it's basically something like this, where it goes, Monk is way down here, the Wizard and the Crusader are tied, the Demon Hunter is here with the Barbarian, like that. That's the way the data is actually polling. If you look at it like here, look at that. Necromancer, Demon Hunter, or Necromancer, Barbarian, Demon Hunter, and then Crusader, Wizard. So Necromancer, Demon Hunter, Barbarian, and then Crusader and Wizard are tied. So it's actually like that. I mean, that's the way that the Reddit data is showing as well. And if I look here, I'm going to pull up just for shits and giggles here. I'm going to pull up real quick my server information too. And I'm going to give you that actual pure info. One moment here. Got to pull up access to server. So the data on that is Necromancer 133, Barbarian 130, Demon Hunter 128. So it's right about the same. The one from my server is showing it's just like this. However, it's flip-flopped here, and Monk once again is down there at 98. But the Monk actually is more popular than the Wizard by my internal poll. So it goes more like this would be the data on the one on my server. So it is fairly similar. That sees Necromancer, Barbarian are pretty much going to be our top popularity no matter who you ask, and then the cards will fall where they may. But that's it as far as popularity goes. So don't worry too much about the classes. Maybe you want to play some of the least played classes because there's reasons to be somebody who's unique within your role. But if you're curious, that's what the data is going to show. Necromancer, Barbarian, Demon Hunter, followed by Crusader, Wizard, and Monk. Those are going to be your popularity. Love you all. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next Diablo Immortal video.